I really feel like, and I've kind of said it, a few times. I really feel like our maturity. I feel like having been in some big games, up last few years, and just having a junior senior led a bunch. And we only had one kid. We carried 14 on varsity for most of the year, and there was only one that was not a junior senior, and he was a sophomore, and he started every game last year. So it wasn't. I think the maturity and just the experience played a big role in that. I do feel like as a staff, we were pretty smart, and at times kids don't understand it. Like I explained it to Kyler. We policed his carries pretty much all year until we got to the playoffs. We do it every year, and then at that point, I'm like, "Hey, it's you, buddy. Let's go play." Trying to keep down on some of the injuries. It's funny when you look at the yards per game, stuff like that. Some of the teams we played that the games weren't close. He may only had a couple carries, and so uh, it's one of those things where we try to do it the right way over here as far as making sure and trying to keep our kids healthy. Um, and I think that helped, but I think the maturity and just the focus of the kids. We have a coach that came in here 2 years ago, and a young guy, and he was asking some of those seniors, what do you think about football season coming up? And they're like, we're gonna play for a state championship. Like it's something that they've kind of had their mindset, and just so I think a lot of that plays into it. I mean, this group's extremely hard workers in the weight room. Um, they don't get they don't take anything for granted. They get after it out there during practice as well. So you know I think experience and maturity is a big deal with that.
He did a lot. Like, he really changed me because before he came, I really wasn't even gonna play football. I was not gonna be a part of any sports. But when he came, I could see how he was gonna change the program. So I started playing football, and he got me, he got me to where I am today. And he brought this whole community. He changed it around. We used to work out in a little, as big as this room of a weight room, and now he just changed it all around. And
Nice.
he brought a lot of people to our community and help us get on the map really. So
Yeah.
it means a lot.
We've talked about it since he was an eighth grader. Matter of fact, after we played Richland Springs at Dublin, I hugged him after the game. I was like, we knew we knew we had a shot. Kyler was the one thing that he's really developed. His eighth grade year, I can tell you, he couldn't throw the ball much, and he was a little awkward just because he was growing. But he's worked his tail off and fixed that facet too. And so we did. We knew that when this senior group was together with our junior group, we thought we'd have a really good opportunity. Now, obviously making it to state, that you never know. You got to have a lot go plays into that, but we did think we had a chance. It was a semifinal game against Richland Springs. Yeah, that was neat. Of course, man, the fan support's been crazy. I mean, we played against Iredale there at Gatesville. I've never seen so many people. Like I personally, and it's hard to tell at the state game because it's so big. The stadium is so big, but I've never played in a venue that had that many people as a Gatesville game, and being from Gatesville and having played there in high school, I don't remember a high school crowd that I played under that was that big. So that was neat to see. And at Dublin, we filled the Dublin home stands, and just the fan base really, man, it's awesome to be a part of that. I mean, Kyler can tell you, that first year we were here, it was parents in the stands. That was pretty much it. And now we've got just a huge fan base. Our home games are everybody's here, and it's great to have that community support and these guys. I mean, they've turned that. I mean, they're out in the community all the time, and you know this group is like they're like brothers, really. I mean, they're always together doing something, and so the people in the community see that as well and see the type of kids they are. So you know that helps a ton too. But yeah, the fan base is off the charts. And that night we got through playing at Dublin. We missed our we had us a good time there in the locker room and afterwards. So we actually missed our dinner appointment, so we had to drive into Gatesville, all the way to Gatesville, to find something to eat. There was people lined up in there waiting on us to get in there to eat. And then when we got home, you know, it went out past the city limit signs all the way to the school. So it was It was neat, and that was probably midnight, pretty close. On our mirrors in our weight room, every year, when at some point when whoever's beat us out or whatever, the score goes up. And the day we got back from the state game, the Benjamin score went up on the weight room. And so, you know, the kids are, while they're in there lifting, they're seeing the score, and it doesn't. A lot of them, some of the younger ones, they look at it, they don't know what it means. But these older guys, they know what it means, and so they want that reminder to, hey, it's time to go to work, so we can try to be, get that goal.